Call all hands. Beat to quarters. Run out the guns. Stand by the starboard battery.
One broadside into it, if you please, Captain Bush.
Pointers on target. Linstocks ready.
Aye, aye, sir. Ready.
Fire!
Presenting Michael Redgrave as C.S. Forrester's indomitable man of the sea, Horatio Hornblower.
It is the autumn of the year 1813, and Commodore Sir Horatio Hornblower, K.B., is engaged on a delicate and secret mission in the Bay of the Seine. The crew of the British brig Flame has mutinied and has threatened to hand over the brig to the French. But Commodore Hornblower, in the brig Porto-Cele, sister ship to the Flame, has evolved a plan to prevent the traitors from carrying out their design. The two ships are exactly alike, save that the Flame has a patched foretopsail. Hornblower has patched his own foretopsail in a similar manner and is now sailing into Le Havre, where he will be taken for the mutineers' brig, giving itself up.
In my somewhat dull retirement, I often live again the details of my active career. But no single episode of that career stands out more vividly than that dusky autumn evening when I stood on the deck beside Captain Freeman and sailed into the enemy's stronghold. The patched foretopsail had been bent on, the name Porto-Cele painted out, and the name Flame substituted. I forced myself to remain calm and apparently unmoved. But Freeman, beside me, had given up all pretense and was as excited as a schoolboy.
There's the harbour, sir. And there's that French West Indiaman we saw go in this morning. Well, there's a lighter beside her. Of course, they wouldn't unload her at the quay. They'd put her cargo into lighters and send them upriver to Rouen and Paris.
At the moment, I'm more interested in the town's defenses than the shipping. There are the forts of Adresse and Tourneville on that steep cliff. The twin lighthouses on Cap de la Heve, and the batteries there on that low ground beside the jetty. The batteries are going to be our greatest danger. I don't expect the forts to find out what's going on in time to open fire.
I don't see why anyone should find out, sir. The ship's disguised, and we've got plain pea jackets over our uniforms. Oh, look, sir, look. There's a lot of shipping further in. Well, might even be ships of the line. They haven't got their yards crossed. Well, I've never been in as close as this before.
It'll be dark soon. I hope the weather doesn't clear anymore. It's just light enough to find our way in, and it'll be dark enough to cover us as we come out.
Sail on the lee, sir. Oh, that's the pilot lugger coming out to us.
Oh.
They think we're the Flame, sure enough.
Very good. Well, set the men to cheering at the port side. Secure the pilot when he comes on board. I'll con the ship in.
Aye, aye, sir. Now then, you men. You're a gang of mutineers sailing your ship to the enemy as a prize. Now, come on, let's hear from you. Shout! Sing! Dance! Back the main topsail! Here's the lugger, sir. And here's the pilot coming aboard.
Lee braces! Over with the wheel and on into the harbor. Mr. Freeman, have you taken care of the pilot?
I have that, sir. I put my shoulder into his back and shot him down the hatchway.
Oh.
I've got two men waiting for him down there. He's probably wondering what hit him.
Pilot secured, sir.
Starboard a little. Meet her. Steady as you go.
Steady, sir.
Hello, here's a cutter standing out towards us, sir. Might be a committee of welcome or orders for berthing. Both, probably.
We'll set the hands to cheering again. Have the boarding party secured as they come aboard.
Aye, aye, sir. Now then, men, come on. Plenty of noise from you again. All together. Now!
We were nearing the big Indiaman now. She lay with loose sails, swinging to a single anchor. In the fading light, I could just make out a dozen of her crew at her side, staring curiously at us. I backed our main topsail again, and the cutter came alongside. The uniforms of the half-dozen men who climbed onto our deck proclaimed them as officers of the Navy, the Army, and the Customs Service. As they advanced towards me, I gave the orders for our brig to get under way again and headed for the Indiaman. The French officials suddenly found themselves surrounded by gleaming cutlasses.
Make a sound in your dead men.
Do small.
Quick, club him with your pistol. Oh! Right, take him away. Batten them down below.
Very good, Mr. Freeman. Main topsail aback. You may hoist out the boats.
Aye, sir. Shall I send the men into them?
Well, only the picked men as arranged. Remember, they are to take the Indiaman without firing a shot. Once we alarm the shore, we're lost.
Oh, they understand, sir. They've been well drilled.
Good.
Boats away! Here are the boats coming back, sir. Well, the men they've put aboard must have done their job.
Excellent. There was hardly a sound, save for that one cry, and I doubt if they'd have heard that ashore. It's too dark now to see what's going on.
Listen, sir, listen. There's someone cutting a cable. Yes, look. Look at the sails against the sky. They're changing shape.
The men are sheeting them home. Thank heaven for a few good seamen. It's no easy task to board a strange ship and lay your hand on the right lines.
The yards are coming round. Look, there goes the lighter. They've cut it adrift.
Square away as soon as our boats are aboard. The Indiaman will follow us out. The boarding party have their orders.
Starboard braces! A wheel there! Hard over! Meter!
We're away, sir. And look, here comes the Indiaman, too.
Hello!
That'll be the cutter that brought the officials out to us. They must wonder what we're doing.
Give me the speaking trumpet. This is where I do not understand French.
What are you saying? I do not understand.
What is it you are doing?
Anchorage. Current. Tide.
What do you say?
I call it later.
Let's bring us slowly round to port.
What it is, sir?
Please to heave to.
Sam has gained as much time as possible.
Pardon. Captain, anchor cable, impossible.
Steady as you go. Mr. Freeman, my hand at the lead, if you please. I'm afraid we shall gain no more time. The shore authorities will be fully alert in a moment.
Yes, the cutter's signaling the shore with a lantern.
Yes, and firing a musket to attract their attention.
Stand by to go about.
This is going to be the most ticklish moment of our outward passage. Steady as she goes.
Steady it is, sir.
The cutter must have cleared and loaded a bow chaser. 6-pounder from the sound of it. Yes, there's the flame of it. But she can't see us very clearly.
I can see the Indiaman, though. She's coming round very neatly. That mastermate of yours is a good man. This will be a different matter. The 32-pounders on the jetty are in action now. We shall be right in their range as we round the jetty.
Shall I reply to their fire, sir?
No. Our 6-pounders will make no impression on that solid battery, and the flashes will reveal our position.
Well, why aren't they firing again? Well, they've had time for several salvos.
I imagine Bonaparte has stripped his shore defenses of seasoned gunners for his army in Germany. These gunners are probably untrained recruits, and working in the dark is making them unhandier than ever.
Look out, sir! Vessel dead ahead!
Wheel there. Stay steady. Make no effort to avoid it. It's the pilot, Lugger. I can see its mainsail. They're trying to block our escape.
She's coming straight for us, sir!
Then let the weakest go to the wall. Stand fast, everybody.
at her! Look at her! Her bows are smashed like an eggshell! The water's pouring into her! That was closer. They fired at the noise.
By the mark, 8.
We're getting into deeper water. Lay her on the other tack, if you please, Mr. Freeman. I tried hard to keep any trace of doubt or excitement from my voice, but I knew that success or failure depended on the chances of the next few minutes. I felt weak with apprehension, not merely for the physical danger that we were in, but for the danger to my reputation should I fail. Men would not stop to think of my real motive. They would say I'd tried to take advantage of the mutiny to feather my own nest by capturing a prize. My honor, as well as my life and liberty, were at stake. The guns from the battery roared again, but this time I heard no sound of the shots. They seemed to be firing wide. And then another distraction presented itself.
Look out, sir! It's some of the froggies from the St. Lugger. They're scrambled aboard. They're armed, sir. Secure them! I'm coming! Look out, Sir Horatio! Behind you!
You dropped that pistol or I'll run you through.
No, shame you, Dave. It's me.
Are you all right, sir?
Yes, my sword reached him before he fired. Are there any more?
Only one, sir. The fool's run up the main rigging.
Up the rigging? Well, what good does he think that's going to do him? Have you sent a man after him?
Well, no, not yet, sir. We've been pretty busy.
Well, I don't want to kill the fool unless it's necessary.
Hey, you aloft there. Come down and surrender and you shall be spared.
He might be dangerous here. He's shooting at the helmsman. I'll go after him, sir.
Send one of the men, Mr. Freeman. It's dark and anything might happen. I've no wish to lose my captain.
Oh, very good, sir. Briggs, are you there? Briggs?
I'm here, sir. I'll have him down in 2 shakes there.
Well, be careful. You better carry that knife in your teeth.
Well, they're making rotten shooting of it, sir. We should be out of range soon at this rate. Is the Indiaman with us? I've been too busy to watch.
She's right astern. There seems to be no trouble with her. Yes, what's going on up in the rigging, can you see?
Not a thing, sir. It's as black as pitch up there. If he...
Blast him. He'll give the guns a target.
My God. Is that the Froggy or Briggs?
He's overside, whoever it is.
All's well, sir. I put my knife in his ribs lovely.
Oh, poor devil. He left us no alternative. Steady as she goes. We're out of range of the batteries now.
What a shock for him, sir. A loaded Indiaman taken out of harbour right under their very noses.
Very good piece of work, Mr. Freeman. All hands did their duty admirably.
Silence! I'll flog any man who's disrespectful to the Commodore.
Leave them alone, Mr. Freeman. They mean well and they're excited. It sounds as though our prize crew on the Indiaman share their feelings.
And they've reason to. All hands will get a nice share of prize money, and there ought to be at least £1,000 in it for you, sir.
Yes, I shall go below, Mr. Freeman. Well, that will do, man. Mr. Freeman, please be good enough to issue grog to all hands.
In a moment, Michael Redgrave returns as Horatio Hornblower.
The following morning dawned fairly clear, but with slight patches of mist and the wind backing south by west. As I came on deck from my bath under the pump, I noted that we were hove to with the captured Indiaman astern. I knew that I should send her back to England at once, but I could not do that without writing a report. There was the mutinous flame to deal with before I could think about reports. Avast there, you fool. Do you want to drown me? When I move away, I've had enough. I don't want to be followed with a hose.
Beg pardon, sir.
Your towel, sir? That water's icy. Better let me rub you down, sir.
Morning, sir. Any orders?
Good morning.
Would you like to question the prisoners, sir?
Oh, I suppose I'll have to, yes.
The pilot talks some English. We had him in the wardroom last night. He says that Boney's been licked again. At a place called Leipzig or some name like that.
Leipzig, eh?
He says the Russians will be over the Rhine in a week. Boney's back in Paris already. Maybe it's the end of the war, sir.
Yes, I've heard that sort of thing before. So, his reputation for invincibility is wearing a bit thin. If he were to...
Sail-ho! It's the brig Flame, sir!
What?
Yes, there she is, sir. Just coming out of that mist bank.
There's only one thing to do. We'll have to fetch her out. Clear the ship for action.
Aye, sir.
News must have got around on shore now that the brig with the patched sail is playing a double game, and they'll be watching for another move. If we delay, the mutineers might get in touch with the shore again and explain.
Yes, or if they see from the shore there's 2 brigs with patched sails, they may guess what's been done.
That's quite so. We'll see that the men have some breakfast first, and it will be best if the guns will not run out yet.
Aye, very good, sir.
Running out the guns would warn the flame that we expected a fight. And that might tell them that escape to the French was not so easy as they thought. I gulped a little as I realized that within an hour the deck I trod would be swept with the carronades of the flame. Within that hour, I might be dead or shrieking under the surgeon's knife. Memories were thick upon me of my dear, sweet Barbara, of little Richard clutching my finger as he trotted beside me, of Smallbridge, too, and Bond Street. I wanted to live, yet soon might die. But Freeman's next words swept away my cowardly preoccupations.
The flame set her boom mainsail and jib, sir. She's standing close hauled into Honfleur.
Oh, she can stand into hell, but I'll see those mutinous swine hanged before she gets there.
Deck, sir! There's a lot of small craft putting out from the beach, sir. Heading for the flame, I think, sir.
This should be interesting, Mr. Freeman. The mutineers are heading in rather than fight. They think those craft are coming out to welcome them.
They're in for a shock, then, sir.
Aye.
Hey, hello. No, they're not so sure. They're hesitating. Look, you can see them spilling the wind from their mainsail. Probably an argument going on aboard between those who only want to keep out of our range and those who want to go over to the French.
Oh, that argument will be soon resolved. Those craft are gunboats, and that lugger's full of men.
Aye, that's the flame. A warning shot to make the frogs keep their distance. Look, sir, look. Look, the flames realize the craft are hostile. She's wearing round.
Too late. They're closing in on her and opening fire.
Look, sir, look. Look, the men from the lugger are boarding the flame. They'll take her.
We'll run the guns out quickly. At least we shall fight against Frenchmen and not Englishmen. Gunners, listen to me. They're going in among those gunboats, and they must be sunk. Aim true at the base of their masts, and don't fire until you're sure you can hit. Yes, what is it, Brown?
Your pistol, sir. Loaded and primed with new caps. I'll stick them in your belt, sir.
Thank you, Brown. Luff a little. Steady.
Those gunboats are coming between us and the flame. Well, I suppose they're trying to keep us off until the lugger's overpowered the crew.
Hands to the sheets. We'll go between them, just there. Stand to your guns, men. Now, hard down with the wheel.
There's one through our deck. Those gunboats are so low they can fire up through our sides. 24-pounders, too.
Ready about. Hard over. Carronades. Fire! We were among the gunboats then. Our carronades went off on both sides. On our starboard side, I had one gunboat under my eye, half a dozen men by her tiller, 2 men at each sweep amidships, a dozen at the big gun forward. Our shots came smashing in, and fired at extreme depression. They smashed straight through the frail shell of the boat. The sides caved in. The sea surged over her. The big guns slewed and completed the wreck. And only a few bobbing heads in the water showed where she had been. The same on the port side. Whoever was responsible for exposing those small boats to our fire was a fool. But now, the lugger and the flame were close ahead. Mr. Freeman, load with canister, if you please. We'll run alongside the French lugger. One broadside, and then we'll board her in the smoke.
Aye, sir.
Gunners! Canister!
I shall want every available man in the boarding party. You, Mr. Freeman, will stay here.
Oh, but, sir...
You'll stay here. Pick 6 good seamen to stay with you and work the brig out if we don't come back. Is that clear, Mr. Freeman?
Yes, sir, Horatio.
Helmsman, lay us alongside that lugger. Gunners, you see that every shot tells. Boarders, you ready to come with me? As we drew rapidly towards the lugger, there was still time to realize with surprise that I, who was a coward and afraid of shadows, was most oddly determined to conquer or die. And that what I'd said about not coming back was sincere, not mere bombast to stimulate the men. I had time to smile cynically at my melodramatic feelings and to glance at the 30 men who crouched by our bulwarks with pikes and cutlasses. And then we were upon the lugger.
Down mainsail! Carronades! Fire!
Follow me, men! In cover and no quarter. figure brandishing a cutlass had leaped past me on the lugger. It was Brown. I saw him striking left and right, and then I was beside him in the struggling, slashing mass. I stumbled over a pile of dead and wounded men who had been caught in the blast of shot from our brig. That stumble saved my life, for a blade snicked past my head as I pitched. An upward thrust as I recovered disposed of my attacker, and I fired the pistol in my left hand at a blue uniformed figure which loomed through the smoke at me. But now, the wind blew the smoke clear. Fighting around me ebbed away, and I could see again. Our master's mate was running down the tricolor from the masthead. On the starboard side was the Flame. I could see French infantry shakos over her bulwarks. A second wave of boarders came pouring in from the Portacelli.
Come on, men! Aboard the Flame before they can organize a defense.
It's all over now, sir. They've had enough. Are you wounded, sir?
No, Brown. Help me up. This fellow's heavy. He's right on top of me. Hey! Yes, thank you. Well, Brown, what's the situation?
Sir, some of them are hiding below, sir. We'll have him out presently. That lot are disarmed and guarded, and some went overside, sir. The ship's ours, sir.
Sir.
Oh, what's this? Oh, you're not one of my men, are you? A mutineer, I suppose, huh?
Sir, I was fighting against the frogs. Your men saw me, or wasn't I, you men? I was, sir. Me and these lads here. We all was, sir.
Silence! Silence! You, and you, and you. You all mutineers?
No,
silence, I say. Come on, you. What is it?
Well, I'm no mutineer, sir. I did what I had to, else they'd have killed me. Ain't that so, mate?
Well, we shall go into that at another time. Now, Brown, note every word that is said. It'll be asked at their trial. And now arrest these men, all of them. Put them under confinement.
Oh, no.
Go, lads. Go, lad, all of you. Disarm them and take them away.
Where are the other mutineers?
Down below, I fancy, sir. Some of the Frenchies are down there, too, sir.
You cowards. They'd rather die on deck than scuttle into a hole like a rat. We'll have them out of it.
Flame ahoy! We're all drifting ashore. Request permission to cast off and make sail.
Now, wait a moment. We must... The remaining gunboats. I'd forgotten them in the heat of the battle. But now I saw the two of them anchored a couple of cables' lengths away in shoal water. The Flame, the lugger, and the Portacelli, all locked together, made a huge target. Another shot crashed into us, and then another. The 24-pound balls were smashing through the whole frail length of the brig, tearing their way through the cowering mutineers and French below decks. Haste was essential if we were not to be sunk where we lay. Down, get those hatches battened down. Put a sentry over each. Mr. Gibbons? Secure your hatches. Get ready to make sail.
Aye, sir.
What topmen are there? Man the halyards, put a man on the wheel. Very well, Mr. Freeman. Cast off and make sail. Rendezvous at the Indiaman. Now, lively now. Hoist away at that sail. Wheel there, hard to starboard.
There goes the Portacelli, sir. And the prize crew's working the lugger away. We'll all be out of range of the gunboats in a minute.
Well, thank heaven the wind is offshore. Hello? What's all that going on overside?
Come, sir, it's the prisoners. Mutineers and froggies. They're scrambling out through the shuttles and jumping overside.
Now, let them go. Half will be drowned, and the mutineers who are saved will get no mercy from the French after this. Wait a minute. Where's the ringleader? Where's Nathaniel Sweet? He must not escape. He must be brought to trial or killed.
He was below, sir. Look, ain't that him, sir? Over there.
Where?
Swimming. Yeah, there. You can see his long white hair.
Nathaniel Sweet! I call upon you to surrender and stand your trial.
He's just laughing, the swine.
Hey, you! Sir? You on sentry at the hatch. Pick me off that white-haired swimmer with your musket.
Aye, sir. Look at the splash. Not within 10 yards.
Yeah, give me the musket. Reload quick, or the villain will escape. I'll have him if I have to jump over and swim to him.
Here's another musket, sir.
Thank you.
Lummy, I wish I was a good shot myself.
I'll give it to me.
Got him, sir. Got him. He won't lead no more mutineers.
Where is he?
Go on, sir. No, there he is. Look, just see his hair trailing. There. Now he's gone.
Yeah. It's a horrible thing to have to do. There was no alternative. You will bear witness, Brown, that I called on him to surrender.
Bless you, sir. It's a waste of breath. He's better off, too. He'd only hang if he was took.
It was true. That white hair trailing like a horrible weed on the sea was to haunt my dreams for long to come. The mutiny was suppressed, the flame retaken, the French defeated, and valuable prizes secured. Barbara and Richard and Smallbridge seemed close again. Yet there was no joy in my heart as we sailed to rendezvous. Only a nightmare vision of long white hair trailing on red-tinted water.
Horatio Hornblower, starring Michael Redgrave, is based on the novels of C.S. Forester. Music composed and conducted by Sidney Torch. Produced by Harry Allen Towers.